Hi guys, I'm Steph. Thank you so much for checking out my channel today. I have been talking about doing this video for a few months now, and I'm really happy to be doing my Get Ready With Me featuring the Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions palette. This is a great palette for the spring and summer, but I really think you can take it into fall and into those colder months. So I'm going to be doing more of a fall inspired look with this palette because when you look at this palette, I think it's really easy to see the spring and summertime looks you can go with it, but the fall ones might not be as obvious. So I'm going to share that with you today. I have used every single color in this palette and I'm excited to let you know my thoughts on it and show you my fall look. To start with, I'm going to prime my face using the NYX Angel Veil Primer. A lot of these products are in my project pans just because those are the products I use on a daily basis. So I'm just going to link all of my projects down below so you can see the progress and catch them up if you want to follow that type of thing. So for example, this is in my Finish 18 and 2018 project, but the next product is in the Roulette Pan collab, so I'll just link them all down below so you can check them out. So like I said, the next product is the Smashbox Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer, and this is really interesting. I find that it makes my under eye area a little bit more plump, a little bit more hydrated, and I really like going in with this before concealer. I feel like it just makes it look a little less wrinkly, a little less cakey with everything going on. I definitely have under eye wrinkles and it can kind of look a bit much when all the makeup goes on, so I like using this product. I just like to give my primer a few minutes to kind of sink into the skin, really absorb, so I know that I'm getting the most from it. And before I go in with any makeup, I always do my skincare and make sure I'm going in with a clean face because I just don't want to be putting makeup on top of like not clean skin, because then you're just going to get a lot of buildup in your pores, and I just feel like it's best to go in with clean skin. So next I'm going to be taking the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Breakout. This is a full coverage concealer, and it does have it's for oily acne prone skin, so it does have some salicylic acid in it, and I love putting it over my problem areas. I think it provides great coverage, and on top of that I feel like I am treating my skin, which is always nice. So I kind of literally just pretty much go in on it half my face because I have a lot of acne. So yeah. And right now I am using the Real Technique sponge, so I'm just going to bounce that all in. I don't want to do too much blending because I don't want to take away the coverage, but I just want to make sure that it is patted into the skin a little bit. So now I have a little bit more coverage in those areas. The foundation I'm going to be using today is the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. I'm in shade LC1. I've really been loving this foundation lately. I think it is a really good color match for me, which is one of the reasons why I go for it. But I just really like the finish of it too. I think it's just a really nice natural looking finish. I wouldn't say it's too matte or it's too dewy. I kind of think it's just perfect. And that's what I like for the fall time, just kind of that perfect type of skin look. I definitely, you'll see I go in quite a bit. This does have a scent to it, and at first I really like the scent. Now I wouldn't say it bothers me, but I feel like it's stronger each time I use it. It kind of smells like vanilla extract to me, but I know if you're really not a fan of scents, then you don't notice it when it's on your face, but when you're first applying it, it is something to take note of. So if that's something that bothers you, then it's not worth it. I also wouldn't say this foundation is the most full coverage because you can still see stuff through it. I do have a first impressions on that foundation, so in case you're interested in that, I'll link it down below. And then for concealer, I'm going in with the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm in the shade Fair Beige, and I've recently been using this. I really like it. I find that a lot of my other concealers for under the eye, they just add brightness, but they don't add a lot of coverage, and I find this does both because the under eye area looks brighter, but I feel like I can still see my dark circles with other concealers, whereas with this one I feel like it really cancels out everything. And sometimes I highlight the middle of my face, sometimes not, I guess. Today is one of those days where I will not, and you gotta kind of work quick with this concealer because I find it does dry fast. I'm sure you're all familiar with Tarte Shape Tape. I don't really know why I'm explaining it to you. And sometimes if I have a little excess, I will take it up over my eyelid to kind of just cancel everything out. Though I do go in with a primer and stuff too, so not a big deal. To set my under eye area, I have been going in with the Peach Perfect setting powder. So here it is. I just have a little bit dipped into the top right here. So I just pick that up on a wet sponge and go under my eye area. This is a great powder for going all over the face as well as the under eye area, so that's why I really like it. So I'm just going to put this on the places where I tend to get a bit oilier, like T-zone and chin. Next, I'm going to go in with this Annabelle cream blush in the shade Light Berry, just because my project pan for this blush this year, my project pan blush this year is a very like cool tone light pink, and I just feel like for this time of year I like something a little bit darker. So I go in with the cream blush and then kind of layer over the light pink one, so it gives that blush that I'm trying to finish a bit more depth to it. And just for the sake of time, because I don't think it's so interesting, I also went in with my What's Up highlighter. I just go onto my cheekbones, under the brows, and the bridge of the nose with this. And I also went in with the ColourPop Bon Voyage bronzer. Honestly, these steps aren't necessary because I'm trying to finish these products, so I'm going to go in with powder stuff and I'll show you that as well. So this is the blush I'm working on. It's from Smashbox. I'm pretty sure it's discontinued, but like you can see, it is a very light pink, so that's why I like having that other blush underneath to kind of just make it a bit more seasonal appropriate and kind of go with the look I'm looking for. Just going to use the Butter Bronzer to bronze up the perimeter of the face. Just to continue with the theme of products and projects, I'm going to use the Vanilla Quartz highlighter. I really like this highlighter because it can be really bam in your face, but if you blend it in, you can also get a softer look with it, making it very versatile. I'm just going to add a little bit to the bridge of my nose because I just like to shine everywhere. It's funny, I have oily skin and try to mattify it all, and then I just put highlighter everywhere, so that's how it is. And after all my powdering, that's when I like to go in with my setting spray, because I find if I wait till the end, then my mascara just kind of gets all over my face, and so I like to go in now before I do my eye makeup to really make everything stay. So I really like going in with the Urban Decay All Nighter when I want my makeup to last all day. Sometimes I just like to go over it with my sponge and kind of just stamp everything in. I'm going to do a couple steps off camera just because I can't really look at the camera while I'm doing it, and I don't think it's the nicest thing to look at. So first I'm going to do my brows with the Ka-Brow, and then I'm going to also be doing my eyeliner. I'm going to tightline and do the waterline with this Rimmel eyeliner in Aubergine, so just like a deep plum color. I also went through my brows with this Essence Make Me Brow in the shade Brownie Brows. So I like to kind of have a bolder eyebrow look in the colder months, but not so much in the warmer months. Yeah, I just feel like it's a seasonal thing. Also, like when my hair is pulled back and you can really see the brown, it makes more sense, but when it's down you can see more of the blonde. I like to go with a lighter brow. Fun fact, in case you cared. Finally getting into the eyeshadow, first I'm going to prime my eyes with the e.l.f. eyeshadow primer. I don't have too much experience with eyeshadow primers, so I can't say if this is like better. It's just in a project, shockingly enough. Okay, so now that I have primed my lids, we can finally get into the palette. So this is the palette here, and usually I like to go in with a cream shade to set my base. However, there is no cream shade in this palette. That's not a problem though, because I really want to make this yellow pop, and that is what's going to be going all over my lid. So I'm actually going to go in with this all over my eyelid to kind of like set the base and like get that color right from the start. So I'm going to go in with like a fluffier brush like this and kind of just put that everywhere. I don't want to get it too high into the crease, but just a little bit, and it's not going to be as vibrant as we're going to get it later, but this is kind of just to set the lid right now. Next, I'm going to go in with this middle shade as the transition shade, or like crease type shade. So I'm just going to do this a bit above my natural crease because I do have hooded eyes to actually see the color and maybe make my eyes like a little bigger. I like to go a bit over the natural crease. Next, I'm going to go in with this orange shade and kind of have that a little bit more in the crease. So I'm just placing that right here. And not taking it as into the inner corner as the last shade. And now I'm going to take this shade here, it's kind of a bit of a terracotta, and I'm going to deepen my outer corner with it. This shade can be a little dusty, so I suggest tapping it off. At this point, I like to go in with that orange shade again that I used in the crease and kind of just go over everything again to just bring that color back. And then I just like to take a nice fluffy blending brush and kind of blend everything together so it's not harsh and it kind of all looks nice and smooth. Now I'm going to go in with this flat shader brush into the yellow and pack that onto the lid. And I just went in with that terracotta shade again to re-deepen up the outer corner. For the lower lash line, I'm actually going to go in with this coral shade up here. It's not one we've used yet, but I like to give my lower lash line a little bit more color. And just really close to the lash line, very faint. And either of these shimmery shades aren't something I would usually go in for the inner corner to highlight with, but because I want to show you as much as I can from this palette, I'm going to go in with this shade up here, the one that looks a bit more, I would say, brighter, and just use that on the inner corner. And there is the eye look before mascara. I'm just going to put on some mascara and lips, and then I'm going to go through some swatches of the eyeshadow palette with you and give you some of my thoughts on it. So here is the finished look with my eyelashes. I went in with the e.l.f. primer and then the Clinique High Impact Mascara, which I have been loving lately. And for lips, I went with the NYX Liquid Suede in Cherry Skies. It's kind of like an ox blood color. I feel like it just kind of went with the whole fall winter type of makeup I was going for, but obviously you can do whatever lip you like. As with any other products, really. Whatever you like, but just showing you what I did. So now to talk a little bit more about the palette, I'm going to do swatches of all the colors for you. I went from this corner to this corner, so kind of in that type of thing. So you can see the shades right here. It's like this corner is this shade. You can see the yellow here. The middle shade is right here. So hopefully you can see how they correspond. A lot of the shades, honestly, when you swatch them out, do look quite similar. I think I'm going to give you some better comparison side-by-side swatches, but I just wanted to show you everything swatched out. So I would say these two corals look quite similar in the pan. And when you look at them side by side, this is the bottom one, this is the top one here. They do look quite similar. And then when you swatch them out, yeah, this one's a little bit darker, this one. So I feel like you can see some difference, but then when you get to blending on the eye, I feel like they can look very, very similar. And then same with the shimmer shades, they look quite different, but when you swatch them next to each other, oh, how do I show just two fingers? When you swatch them next to each other, they look different. But I find once I swatch them out, they look quite similar, and it is very hard to see the difference on the eye. So I wish in terms of that it had been a different shimmer shade. I'm not sure what. Maybe it could have been darker, a bit more vibrant, a bit more coral. This is kind of like a creamsicle color, so I would have liked to have seen something a bit more richer in coral pigment here, or darker something, but I feel like they just, when you put them on the eye, they look too similar. So that is my biggest gripe with this palette, is that products look, or that pans look similar. Also, when you use the glitter shades or the shimmer shades, I recommend that you use a glitter glue, because they can definitely have a fallout transfer to the upper eyelid. Is something that happens to me quite a bit. But overall, I do really like this palette. Besides, I would say my biggest issue is the two shimmer shades. I think just look too similar. But overall, I really like it, and I like that you can use it to create some beautiful coral pinky looks, great for spring, summer, and like I did today, you can use it to create some more fall time looks. I'm really glad that they have this deeper terracotta shade in, and I have to say the mustard yellow really drew me to this palette. Overall, I really enjoy the quality. I've included this in favorites throughout the year. I'm really happy to have picked it up, and I feel like I do get a lot of use out of it, and I can wear it for multiple seasons. If you've picked up this palette, I would love to know your thoughts on it, or any of the other Obsessions palettes. I have quite a few of them. I've also done a get ready with me using the Mall Obsession, so I'll link that down below in case you're interested. Just a quick question. Do you guys prefer when I review an eyeshadow palette, if I do a get ready with me type of thing where I show you how I use the palette and review it all in the same video, or would you just like a separate video on the review so you don't have to watch all the other face makeup? Let me know what you prefer, and I'll make sure to do that for the next eyeshadow palette I talk about on my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye!